Okay, as we're considering what it means to have virtue and learning about the different virtues, I wanted to talk about the virtues in art. And obviously they show up all across different art genres and time periods and everywhere, but these are some things I wanted to think about for us today. So, virtue in paintings. The Raphael frescoes located in the room of Signatura in the Vatican, were painted between 1508 and 1511. The iconography serves as an intellectual synthesis, bringing together the four branches of human knowledge: philosophy, theology, poetry, and law, as well as the three greatest categories of the human spirit: the good, the true, and the beautiful. And that was a quote by Dr. Ellen Conduct, literature teacher at Hillsdale College. And then, so Raphael's cardinal virtues wall features the four cardinal virtues. Remember, we talked about these: prudence, justice, fortitude, and temperance. They are represented as women attended by the theological virtues, which are depicted as cherubs, right? So, the theological virtues, just in case you forgot, are faith, hope, and love, right? So we got faith, hope, love, and then we've got prudence, justice, fortitude, temperance. Prudence, we talked about being like wisdom or wisdom in action. Justice, the right thing regardless of what the situation is. Fortitude, the ability to keep going when things are tough. And also fortitude kind of works with justice, right? That we're going to have that courage necessary to see things through to the end. And then temperance, going just the right amount, right? So if a lot of us think about temperance as either abstaining from alcohol or not getting drunk, but we talked about how it's so much more than that. It's moderation. It's the right amount. Okay. So we talked about prudence, justice, and fortitude, and temperance. They're represented as women. And then the little cherubs around them, they are the virtues, the theological virtues. So faith, hope, and love. Okay. And then this is going to be another quote by Dr. Ellen Conduct. Today, we think of prudence as being cautious, sensible, and reluctant to take risks. However, in the Middle Ages, prudence held a higher place. Prudence meant wisdom. And says Dr. Ellen Conduct, prudence looks in the mirror to recognize the truth about herself. It's impossible to govern yourself. We've talked about self-government, remember? Okay, so she continues in her statement, it's impossible to govern yourself and your actions properly without knowing your own good and bad qualities. And that's an important thought, isn't it? Okay, so wisdom illuminates us so we can recognize what justice is and achieve it. Okay, end of quote from Dr. Ellen here. And then I got a couple quotes from Mere Christianity. You know, I love that book. It's such a good guidebook when we are establishing what we believe and building our worldview. And so anyway, Mere Christianity, page 77, prudence means practical common sense. Page 78, Mere Christianity, temperance referred not specially to drink, but to all pleasures, and it meant not abstaining, but going the right length and no further. Okay, page 79, Mere Christianity, justice means much more than the sort of thing that goes on in law courts. It's the old name for everything we would now call fairness. It includes honesty, give and take, truthfulness, keeping promises, and all that side of life. So once we start getting a better grasp on the definitions of these virtues, we see how learning about them and practicing them has the effect of, yes, transforming our whole life, but also joining in the process of sanctification, of being more like Christ, right? The more we run after courage and virtue and truthfulness, the more we run after all of these good qualities, the more we're going to be like Christ, and the more able and equipped we're going to be to do his work here on earth. Okay? Thanks for joining me about virtues.